Hey family, back again with the second video of the day as promised. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is the Lord has recently, in the last week or so, given me several visions and words related to an earlier night of visions and words from April. And as soon as he started to speak to me again about the same subject, I knew it was time to share it. So I have been beseeching him and asking and pleading him for more information in the last week so that I could give you a more full picture of what the Lord has shared with me so far. And it's all about an entity, a person, or maybe a pair of people who are going to appear very soon in these end times. And so, brothers and sisters, so I'll carry on. And the reason I'm sharing with you this picture of a tree, this was the first vision I received one night in April. It was the 14th of April, and I saw a tree. And in the tree, in the top branches, I saw a grey shape. It was sort of an oval grey shape, and I was looking at it from a distance and wondering if it was an owl. But as the Lord revealed more, I began to realize what I had been seeing. Now, directly after that, the next vision I was shown was an old window frame, and in the window frame was a cobweb, and in the cobweb were small insects trapped inside the web. Now, the third vision was something like this. I thought initially, is it dead skin or is it a dead leaf? And I was umming and ahhing as to what it was. But as I carried on with the Lord that night, I realized what he had been showing me. And what he was showing me was, oh, sorry, brothers and sisters, it was a cocoon for a moth. But anyway, I'll carry on because I just want you to flow with me like I did with the Lord that night. So, as I've said already, I saw the vision of the tree with something hanging in it. And then I saw a window frame with cobwebs and insects caught in the web. And then I saw something that looked like a dry leaf or dead skin. And, and so the next thing I heard a word from the Lord, and this is what he told me. Yes, it's about the moth. And I thought, the moth, Lord? About the moth? And then I realized he'd been showing me a cocoon for a moth. Now, as I puzzled over this and prayed about it, I woke myself up. This all happened in the middle of the night. So I got up and I went to the bathroom. And while I was in the bathroom, I had another vision. And this time I saw a man sitting in a chair. He looked to be in a position of honour. And then to his left was a giant a stag, a male deer, a stag with his antlers high, big long antlers coming out of his head. So it was the man in the chair and the stag to his left, as if standing at attention to the left of the man in the chair. Now, as you can see, I didn't share these things straight away because I was completely puzzled. What did he mean about the moth? The Lord said, yes, it's about the moth. And then he showed me a picture of a man and a stag. It just didn't seem to make sense, so that is why I didn't share it. But I prayed and prayed over it. I knew it was important, and I went to Scripture to see what I could find that was related to this set of visions. Sorry everyone, before I show you the scriptures that I found, I just wanted to show you a picture of the stag. So it was something similar to this that I saw beside the man on the chair. I wasn't sure if it was a throne or a chair. It didn't look hugely grand, but he looked very important. So I'm going to read two different versions of the scripture in Job 27, starting at verse 18. And this is in the King James Version, sorry. Oh dear. So here it is. He builds his house like a moth. Sorry. Like a booth which a watchman makes. So he builds his house like a moth, like a booth which a watchman makes. And it's speaking of the wicked man. And this is the same verse in the Good News Version. The wicked build houses like a spider's web, or like the hut of a slave guarding the fields. I thought it was really interesting that the two different versions, one said the wicked man's house was like that of a moth. And what does a moth have? Where does a moth live when it's changing from a caterpillar to a moth? It lives in a cocoon. But also it speaks, the other version speaks of the spider's web. And I thought it was interesting that the Lord showed me both. It was almost like a confirmation of that verse. The other thing that struck me was that those three things that are mentioned in the verses, the spider's web, the moth, and the guard in the guardhouse, they all wait, don't they? They wait for the right moment to act. The spider waits for the insect to land in his web, and then it will creep quickly out and stun its prey. And the guard in the guardhouse waits patiently in the guardhouse. Here's a guardhouse. He watches and waits, whether for a burglar or whether it be an animal that might destroy a crop, or it may be a prisoner that's trying to escape. But the guard in the guardhouse also waits for his moment to make a move. And then also the moth in its cocoon as it's changing from a caterpillar, metamorphosis it's called, isn't it? When it's changing, it waits until the right moment before the chrysalis or the cocoon will open. So everyone, it was interesting because just on the 16th of this month, just a few days ago, I received another word out of the blue. I hadn't been thinking about this moth vision for quite some time, but I knew it was important. But just out of the blue, a few days ago, the Lord spoke to me again, and this time he said these words, opened moth. And I knew immediately that he meant the cocoon, this place of hiding for the moth figure, was opening or had opened. And I knew that this was quite serious. Now, not only did I hear the words opened moth, but directly after it I heard Tuesday, October. Now, sometimes when the Lord uses days with me, days of the week, I feel that he doesn't literally mean that day. So I just felt within myself that I would look up Tuesday, the meaning of Tuesday or the origin of Tuesday. So this is from Wikipedia, and it explains that Tuesday comes from different root words. One of them is TYR or TIW, and it's root words from Old English and Germanic and Norse origin. And all of these different countries of origin, the meaning of Tuesday is related to a deity, to a god. And if you're interested, have a little look here in Wikipedia, and you can look up the history of the word Tuesday. So I thought that was really interesting, because the Lord is speaking of a figure whom I believe is of great importance in these end days, and possibly a man of wickedness. And then, of course, there is the stag figure that may relate to the second person. So, brothers and sisters, just for your information, that's what I found out about Tuesday. But the October word is also very interesting. We'll just have to wait and see. It's not far away. Now, of course, because the Lord had refreshed my mind on the whole vision from April, I have been in deep prayer over this whole thing. And just a few nights after the 16th of this month, I think it was the 20th, yes, I've just checked my diary, on the 20th of August, I had been praying about who the stag figure was, and also I was asking the Lord, was the moth the same as the goat of Daniel? Was he representing the Antichrist? I still am not sure on that one, brothers and sisters. I'm still waiting for confirmation on that. But I was asking about the stag figure as well, and what that was all about. And I had a very interesting vision this night, and it was of a cell phone, just like you can see in front of you. But I could see the cell phone cover, that clear strip that you put over the phone glass to protect it. I could see the edging of that. And then as I looked at the vision, I saw another screen cover come and overlay at an odd angle over the first screen cover. And then the Lord gave me these words: the cover of one is going into the other. So, brothers and sisters, I'm just sharing this with you. Pray over it. I'm not sure on the interpretation, but I'm assuming that they will be supporting each other in the work that they are assigned to. The other thing that night is that I went into another vision, and this time it was a blurry edged image of a man. And I did get some specifics of what this man looked like, but I didn't see his face features clearly. It's a bit like when the Lord speaks of showing us things through a dim mirror. That's what I felt I was seeing. He showed me certain aspects of the man. I saw greying hair, fairly broad shoulders, casual shirt rather than a suit and tie. But tidy, and fairly, oh, did I say broad across the chest? Yeah. So, brothers and sisters, just a glimpse of this person, but not clear so that I can identify them at this stage. So, everyone, just reviewing, it's all about the moth, is what the Lord was telling me that first night. That the visions were all about the moth. And this, then again, just a few days ago, the Lord told me that the moth had opened. So, in other words, the cocoon had opened. And then I was given the words about October. So, everyone, it's a very interesting set of visions and words from the Lord. This moth figure, I believe, is a person, because he showed me the vision of the man in the chair and also of the stag. And finally, everyone, there may be somebody that can help me with just another couple of interesting things the Lord has told me about this figure, this moth figure. Now, I've been praying on the 17th of April, just a couple of days after the initial vision about the moth, and the Lord gave me this word, which I believe is probably Arabic or something. I heard Iskala. Now, I spelt it Iscallah because I didn't know how to spell it. It sounded like Iskala. And Then I heard the word Troy. And when I heard the word Troy, I immediately thought of the ancient city Troy. And if you remember, Troy is famous for the story of the Trojan horse. And I found out through research that Troy is now in modern day Turkey. And that city existed about 600 BC. So this is a little mystery to me. I don't know how this all links in, but maybe some of you have an interpretation for this. I'd be really interested to hear if anybody knows how this fits in. Now, this was not the only night that the Lord spoke to me about the horse and Troy. It was mentioned again not long after. So I've just looked that night up in my diary, brothers and sisters, and it was the 24th of May. So it was about a month after the original vision. On this particular day, the Lord used the word horse and Troy again. So I'm sure that he's wanting us to look at the Trojan horse story. And then he gave me this word, the name of the terrible king. And when I heard that, I quickly, of course, spoke to him and prayed and asked, what is the name of the terrible king? But he did not answer. So brothers and sisters, this is a huge mystery, but important stuff that the Lord has shown us. And he keeps giving me information about this figure, the moth. So let's just watch and wait. And if any of you have got any ideas or anything comes up in the future, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, this is a really long video, so bye for now. Blessings to you, brothers and sisters. It's always a delight to hear from you, and I love hearing your ideas. Bye.